In this video tutorial, I will talk about the cluster input and cluster output tool and how you can use it to produce a twisting tower just like this. And I have added this to the transform array menu so you can easily put it in the screen and make a twisting tower. First, we'll talk about the steps we should take and how we can change the model, how we can decrease or increase the tower number, and also the roof. So when we just finish the algorithm, we will make it into a zipped or a cluster input output tool, which we can add to the menu. We can use the inputs and outputs to produce the tower, and we can always have this as a file or move it into another PC, and also have multiple of this tool in our screen. So basically this tutorial will show you how you can use the input and output tool of the Grasshopper interface. Okay, to start from scratch, I'm going to draw a simple closed planar curve for the tower, whatever we want. We can draw here. Okay, and then we can import this into the Grasshopper interface with the curve tool, and right click and set this to the curve. And for making that tower, we can easily connect the surface to the curve and make the floor of the one of those units, and then we can extrude that, extrude in the Z direction. So I'm going to make this model really fast because we have to make the input output and use it for the clustering. So let's just move on quick. We can extrude this to make the unit, and now we can just go to array and use a linear array to make the tower. So I'm going to use the linear array. I'm going to linear array this unit in the Z direction, and for the distance of the array we can use exactly the number here, and you can see that this will make the units on together. But because I want to scale up the roof, I'm going to use another addition to this. So I'm going to the math addition and add this up with another number and use this as the gap. So basically this number will produce the gap between the floors and the units, and now we can give it a number here. So maybe we have a 12 unit tower or more or less. And the last step will be to rotate these. So I'm going to rotate 3D, rotate these linear array geometry in the center of these models. So I'm going to use the volume. You can also search it with the VOL volume tool. I'm going to calculate the volume centroid and use the volume centroid. Okay, you can see it here as the center of rotation. And for the axis we have a Z rotation axis, and now we can give this an angle. So I'm going to give this a degree, and if I give it a number, you can see that the whole tower will rotate, and that is not what we want. Okay, let's just turn off all of these things, and we need to rotate each of these units by a number. So I'm going to use a technique. We talked about that before. We can use a range. We can give a domain here, so the domain will be a construct domain tool, and we can define the minimum and the maximum of rotation. So we need a rotation between 0 and 120 maybe, and because we had 15 units, we have to give this 15 to the steps. But remember, range will produce one more, so if it's 15 we will have 16. So I'm going to make this in the expression bar x minus 1, because if we have a 14 number here, we will have 15, and that will be okay. So I'm going to the steps and use the x minus 1 and give this to the angle, and you can easily rotate the tower. Okay, we can change the plan. And see what happens. We can easily define a new tower here. Let's just go and play. Maybe we just need to delete this and make this like that. We can increase the height of the units and maybe increase the gaps. Okay, for the last part, we need the roof of the tower to expand and make a scale of that. So I'm going to use a deconstruct brep here, okay, and deconstruct the towers into different faces, and you can see each tower has 10 faces. This is the group section. We talked about this before, and I also talked it in the Grasshopper course. So now I'm going to use a face, and I'm going to the list item and use the list item tool. If you just choose the index 0, you can see that it's going to be the floor. Because we extrude that, we have the first face as indexed 0, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have something like 9, excuse me. So because, let me show you, we have all these faces 0 to 9, so it will be basically 0 from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then at the end we will have 9 for the roof. So we can just give it a 9 here to the index. That's one of the ways we can just have the roof. But you can have the roof by just right clicking on the list and using the reverse. So what will happen, we will reverse the list, and basically the roof will be 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So this is a technique you can use, and now we will have the roof. Okay, just turn this off, turn this on. We can't scale this, so I'm going to connect a curve to this and use the offset curve to make this bigger, maybe 5.5. Okay, we have the offset curve. We can again, when we connect the curve to the surface, we have the boundary. Now we just again connect the surface to a curve. Now we have the surface, and we can extrude that to the Z direction, and the number of this will be exactly the gap. So I'm going to give this to the Z, and here we go. We will have the tower, and we will have the roofs. You can see that I can bake this into layer 1, and I can bake this into layer 2, and we can have the tower here exactly as we want it to. Okay, so now we want to make this a tool. So the basically this tutorial was about making a cluster tool because someone asked about this. Okay, so how can we just make this into a tool? So always we can give a rotation number, we can define the height of the units, we can define the gap, we can define how many units we need in the tower, the floors, and so on. So when you just finish your algorithm, we can go to the inputs and outputs. So we go to the cluster input, and now we can just connect this. Okay, I'm going to connect the cluster inputs to the thing you want to make, because when you have a tool here, okay, let's explain this. Maybe we can go for this. You can see we have inputs and outputs. So whatever you want to make it as an input, you have to use the cluster input tool. So I'm going to connect this as the curve. For the starting curve, we need a z direction for the first unit. So I'm going to give this to the first, and remember there is 2 inputs here. So I'm going to track that and connect this. Okay, delete that. Another input here, and that's the gap. And here and here. Okay, we can just delete this. Again, we need a number for the tower. We can give this here, and another number here for the rotation, and another input for this offset one. Okay, delete this, and okay, that's finished. And now we need the cluster output, we need the roofs, we need the tower, rotating tower. So this is the units and this is the roof. And now we can name these. Remember, first of all, you have to put this in the exact order you want. So first of all, we need the curve, then we need the height, then we need the gap, maybe rotation, then number of the units, and then the offset. And first we need the units, and now we need the roof. Okay, the order is very important, and also you can double click on each of these inputs and type the thing you want in your language, or you can explain that. So we can see this is a plan curve, and you can also have a description. Please input the closed planar curve. Okay, I'm going to type this, and next we have edge. Maybe that's a height. Don't need to explain that. We need the gap. Okay. We need the rotation, so I'm going to give this as a rotate. We have a name and nickname here, so you can give the complete name here, a small name here, but sometimes it's better to have them both. Okay, and the description, as I explained. Now we have the count. Okay, and we will go for the offset. Then we need the end of this. We have the units. Then we have the roof. And then we're going to choose all of them and middle click this or right click. If you middle click, you have it here, the cluster tool, or if you right click, you have it here, the cluster. Doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to make this into a tool. Okay, and now you can see that it works. We can just give a curve for the tower. We can give a height. Okay, what was G? The gap. Okay, so this was the gap. This is what I'm talking about. Better to type it as a big name. Okay, rotation. Count, we need maybe 9 units, and offset is maybe 2.5. Okay, so let's just scale this curve a little bit and control this. And you can see easily how I can make the tower, how I can define the rotation, how I can increase the units, and how I can make the roofs. Okay, and here we have the units, and here we have the roofs. Okay, so this tool does work okay, and it's okay. So now we can just make and add some information. Right click on this, we can go to the properties. You can also assign a password to this. So because if you double click on this, everyone can open it, and you can just go and assign a password to this. But you can also, if you have a backup of this, you can choose everything and choose in the middle one and again in the middle one, and that's sort of some protection, because the one, if it wants to open the file, he has to move everything. Okay, that was a joke. So you can go back and now we can right click and use the properties and make it a name, maybe Twisting Tower, the nickname, description, a tower, okay, based on a planar curve. And now you can give it an icon, and you can also use the icon library or use a file here. So you can see Grasshopper has a ton of icons for the files. Okay, you can choose whatever you want, or you can just make a file, a PNG file, and when you hit OK, it just makes the description here. So you have Twisting Tower, a tower based on a planar curve, and here it is. Okay, you have to add this to the menu. So I'm going to click this and go to the file and use the create user object tool command, and it says where it's going. Now I'm going to choose that. You can type a new category. So if you just type a new menu, another menu will be added to this Grasshopper thing, but you can also use the existing ones. So I'm going to use it as a transform, and maybe in the affine or something, because I use the array. The panel section is the section when you open, you have different sections here. You can define which section you want, and when you hit OK, we will have this in the affine section just exactly as I made it in the array section. And now you can just put it into the Grasshopper canvas. You can also find your file in the file special folder and user object folder. So I'm going to the file special folder, user object folder, and here we have this, the Twisting Tower, and that's the file you can give to other people. And you can also just right click here and delete this if you don't want that. So I'm going to delete this, that's yes, and now we can have this, and you can have an alias for that. Okay, and here it goes, the Twisting Tower. So this is exactly how you can use the cluster input and the output to produce a tool, especially for your work. When you just use this too much or you just need that, you can easily make that and add this to the menus. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Subscribe to the channel, and thank you.